Y'all, what's happening? I'm back with sexism part two. It's like, but for real though, this is gonna be a continuation to my first sexism video. If you haven't checked it out already, please go check it out, because you have to watch that first. Please go check it out. Also, I feel like most of y'all probably came from my Instagram, but if you haven't, _ Hershey Kiss, check me out. Check out my IGTV videos. I have videos on there talking about pornography, the word female. And I also started doing this thing where I do like mini clips that lead up to these bigger YouTube videos so I can get more content out. Check those out as well, because they also go along with what I'm about to talk about and the last video, so check those out. And yeah, let's kind of just like really jump into it. Well, before I jump into it, actually, I got to give my disclaimers. And two, I do want to say that I feel like this is going to be, I said I didn't know if I was going to break sexism down into a 3-part or a 2-part video. I think I'm going to do 2 parts, because after I say this, I'm done, and I'm just want to start race. I want to start bringing race into the conversation and start talking about Black women, because that's important to me. So yeah, disclaimers. I cuss. If you're not comfortable with cussing, then you can click off. I say niggas a lot. If you consider that cussing, you might want to click off. Because I know some people don't like that word. I'm in my underwear. I might move around. You might be able to actually, see. You can actually see. So yeah, I'm in my underwear. So if that offends you, then click off. So I'm not putting on pants. And I do want to say that I do recognize that gender is not just on a binary of male and female. It's across the spectrum. I realize that. But as a Black cisgendered woman, I am going to speak from that space. And the language I use is going to be heteronormative as fuck. I'm sorry. But again, like I said, I do recognize that gender is across the spectrum. I do know that. And I think that's it. Let's get started. I do want to just give a quick recap of what I talked about in my last video. And like I said, if you haven't checked it out, please like it. Please share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And on Instagram, if you could give my videos a like, comment, save them, share them, because really when you save them, comment on them, that helps the algorithms, it helps my videos get out there. And one last thing before I get into the recap, I am no way, shape, or form trying to attack anybody. Nobody's fucking perfect. My whole job is to use my voice. My voice is my purpose, to enlighten you and to get you to think outside the box, become more aware, and just rip up the script society gave you and think for your fucking self. Be a free thinker. That's all I want. That is my end goal. If I can get more people to think freely for themselves, then I am doing my job. And real quick, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been subscribed, to me, who's been liking my videos, who watches my videos. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. You have no idea. The girls that watch their videos with my boyfriends, thank you for, with my boy, did I say with my boyfriends? Wait, what? The girl, Mercury's in retrograde. Did I even say that? I don't know. But the girls that are watching the videos with their boyfriends, thank you. That's important. Because I'm not talking to women, we know this shit already. Most of us already know this. This is our lived experiences I'm talking about. We need men to know. We need y'all help in dismantling the patriarchy, because we didn't create it. Not saying you individually created it, but you're a man. You have to bring it down, So, let's recap real quick. I talked about unsolicited comments on the body. I talked about rape anxiety. When women having rape anxiety, I talked about double standards. I talked about double standards in when it comes to slut shaming, when it comes to aging, when it comes to anything dad bods are hot. You see mom bods are not talked about at all. When it comes to aging, guys are always oh, such a silver fox, sugar daddy. And then women, it's here you go. This will make you look 10 years younger. You can't age. Talked about objectification of women. It's 3 o'clock and you've probably already seen so many images of women naked already. And objectification really just teaches us that our value, women's value, lies in what a man thinks of them, and that's not true. Your value lies within you. I talked about women being underrepresented in positions of power, and if they are in positions of power, then they somehow slept their way to the top. I talked about dress codes for girls and women, how it's controlling, and it teaches us young girls from a young age that our bodies are sexualized and boys are just biologically programmed to sexually harass you. That's what it teaches us. I don't remember if I talked about pink tax, and that's just products that are marketed for women are priced higher. I don't know if I said that, but I talked about the pay gap. Told you Mercury's in retrograde, yo. I talked about the pay gap, unconscious bias, assuming all women want children, assuming that all women wear makeup, assuming that all women know nothing about cars, just the assumptions you make about women, implicit bias. I talked about gendered language, so like walking in the room and saying, hey, you guys, versus just saying like, hey, y'all. It's like, you don't walk into a room with a mixed crowd and say, hey, ladies. So why is it always, hey, guys? It literally paints women as some type of subcategory. Whether you like to admit it or not, that's what's happening. And that is all that I talked about in the first video. So I also mentioned in the first video how I was going to go more so into how the patriarchy affects men as well. And it's not just women. It affects men, little boys, little girls, grown women. It affects us all. So I think I might get into that. I don't really know. But anyway, I have some like general notes with some bullet points about what I want to talk about, and let's jump into it. So, the worst thing you can be labeled as a man, is either feminine or gay. Like, and real quick, because I definitely consider myself an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. I want to say IAA, but I think there's more, so we're just going to put, I'll say this, LGBTQ IAA plus community. I definitely consider myself an ally to y'all. I love y'all. I love the fucking gays. First of all, they understand women. So women, we love the gays. So like I said, so as a man, if you're labeled as feminine, then oh my God, it's the worst of the worst because society hates women. If you're labeled as gay, then it's the worst of the worst because oh my God, society hates gays as well. That's why you see guys out here saying, I don't know, it'll be like simple stuff and then they'll be like, no homo. Do you realize how offensive that is? Like, imagine you're hanging out with your friends and you have a gay guy in the group and maybe he hasn't come out yet. Maybe he's still trying to figure it out. And y'all around here just saying no homo all day. You don't think he's probably sitting back and thinking like, damn, I don't know if I really feel comfortable coming out because no homo implies that being gay is somehow wrong or it's bad. Stop saying that shit. It's stupid. I'm 25 plus. I'm 25. I imagine the people that I'm preaching to right now are 25 plus. I really don't understand why. I thought that was a high school thing. I don't really understand why we're still like, people are still saying, well, why guys are still saying no homo. It's offensive and I really just don't understand it. Like, guys will say all day, I don't care that he's gay. But then you point out a gay person, a gay guy when you see one. Then when you say, oh, but I'm just saying he's just gay. What are you just saying? Who cares if they're gay? You care because you pointed it out. Then you go on to start talking about, oh, well, I mean, I'm cool with gay guys as long as they respect boundaries. That should be with everybody. You should be cool with every woman too, as long as they respect your boundaries. Like, just listen to the shit that you say. It's stupid. It's ignorant. Moving on. So, yeah. So, well, not moving on. Bring me to my next point. So, if it's so bad, like, and that's what homophobia really is. Homophobia has nothing to do with the fear of gays. It's the fear of being labeled as gay, like, for real. So, you try so hard to, like, not appear feminine and gay. That then turns into you being hyper masculine, you gotta feel like you gotta be overly aggressive, you gotta be physically, like, bulging out your clothes and shit so you can feel more manly. And then that hypermasculinity then turns into toxic masculinity. Now you beating on women. Now you fucking now you're sexually assaulting women. Now you're raping them. All to prove that you are a masculine man. And the thing about toxic masculinity, like, because guys, like, always love to, like, be like, yeah, shut up, listen for a second. No one is saying masculinity is toxic. Absolutely, it's not. But with what I just said, it can turn into it being toxic. Toxic masculinity is defined by the violence, sex status, and aggression. It's saying strength is everything and emotions are weak, and I have to fucking not cry and do all these other dumb manly things so I can appear more fucking masculine. That hypermasculinity is the reason why men are 3 times more likely to kill themselves than women. Because y'all don't want to talk about your emotions because that's weak. You know what's weak? Being so masculine that you can't talk about your emotions and then killing yourself. And I'm not trying to say killing yourself is weak and that's a coward move out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're going to hold on to this so tightly and be so masculine that you don't want to talk about your feelings because you think that's weak, and then you kill yourself, that's weak. Talk about it. It's okay to cry. It really is. It's a release of emotions. It's fine. You will live. You will cry, and then you'll still be alive. Anyway, so no one's saying that masculinity is not inherently toxic. It's not. But it can turn into toxic masculinity. I just told you what toxic masculinity is defined by. Now, people are now like, what about toxic femininity? I've had people try to backlash me with that. I honestly feel like that term was created because niggas was mad because we coined the term toxic masculinity. I really think so. Like, toxic femininity, the textbook says that it is defined by women becoming like so, what's the word? I can't think of a word right now, so I'll just say so involved in their feminine traits, becoming, overly nurturing, overly caring, over whatever. Or also defined by, I'm drawing blanks right now. Also defined by just like traits that women have taken, like internalized misogyny. That's another toxic femininity trait. And there's something else, but to me, honestly, if I had to define toxic femininity outside of the textbook, add on to the textbook definition, I would say it's the women who think that they can physically abuse a man because men are taught that they can't put their hands on women, so I'm gonna beat him up because I know he's not gonna put his hands on me. That's toxic. And if you come across my son, I'm raising my son to put his hands on people who put their hands on him. Man or woman, I don't care. So watch out for that motherfucker because he's gonna beat your daughter ass. I'm dead ass serious. Toxic femininity to me can be defined as the women who use their emotions to manipulate men. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about women and how they're fucking being shat on right now as we speak. There's like this big thing right now about protecting Black women, protecting women, whatever, protect her. Please understand that your protection goes past the physical. Man, I'm talking to you. Your protection goes past the physical. Oh, wow, you saved me from getting beat up by a guy. But then you also refer to women as bitches. You also make rape jokes. You also make misogynistic jokes. You also call women hoes, you slut shame women. You also, like, you know what you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's more than just you physically being there. It's you unlearning your behaviors, addressing the thought patterns that you have, addressing your unconscious bias that you have towards women, unpacking it, and just like being better. It's you not being a bystander whenever your friend makes a misogynistic or sexist joke. Like, it's about being like, hey bro, that shit wasn't cool. Like, it's more than just physically trying to protect us. Like, mind your language. Watch how you talk. Stop using bitch and woman synonymously. Like, and this is, I already made a mini clip about this, but I'm going to address this right now. Real quick, since we're here. The word bitch. First of all, as a black woman, I have never in my fucking life, like, just felt so disrespected by my own fucking community. Like, my entire life, I've felt disrespected by my own community, whether it be me having to deal with colorism because I'm dark skinned, or me dealing with the black man. Like, personally, if you're gonna use the word bitch around me, if you're gonna, like, we up in this bitch, oh, like, I don't care. If you're gonna call a cat a bitch, dog a bitch, call the cat a dog a bitch. I don't care. My problem is when you're calling a bitch, you're calling a woman a bitch, or you're calling a man a bitch. Because if you're calling a man a bitch, bitch is what? An insult against who? Women. If you calling a man a bitch, what are you calling him? Huh? A woman, right? Okay, that's what the fuck we thought. So, like, it's an insult. Like, it's derogatory. It's been used to bring down women. Just stop fucking using it. Like, you have white people out here who have fucking understood that black people have reclaimed the word nigga. They literally bleep it out in songs. I'm not even asking you to bleep it out in a fucking song. I'm just asking you to stop calling me a bitch as a woman. That's all I'm asking for. They gave us that respect, and we can't even get the same respect from the black men. And as a woman, guess what? I'm going to say it because I should be able to, just like black people reclaim the word nigga, I should be allowed to reclaim the word bitch for myself. Because I'm not using it in a derogatory term. Because I'm not using it to put somebody else down. Niggas will find any excuse in the book to be like, well, women say it, or, I wasn't calling a woman a bitch, I was calling a man a bitch, though. Like, stop. Back to what I was saying. That goes into protecting. That goes into protection. Mind your fucking language. You thinking, oh, because I didn't try to have sex with her on the first night, I'm such a gentleman. Oh, because I open doors, I'm such a gentleman. I have respect for women. First of all, what is a gentleman? List out the qualities that make you a gentleman, and I bet you could find those same qualities in a woman. Why? Because the bar is set so low for these nice guys, for these gentlemen. It's set so low that we actually have a term called gentleman to describe men that are being decent human beings, but we don't have a term to describe women when they're being decent human beings. I mean, it's just stupid. Like, really stop thinking just because you don't sexually assault or physically abuse women that you somehow get a pass. You are benefiting from the patriarchy. Like I just said, we have terms like gentlemen to describe nice guys, to describe you being a decent human being. Like, the bar is set so fucking low. Like, kill that train of thought too. Protecting her is about fucking not gaslighting women when they talk about their experience. You saying not all men. It's you thinking twerking is hoe behavior. It's you thinking you're entitled to touch somebody. You're entitled to some ass. It's you thinking, oh, I spent this much money on this date. I get some ass after this. It's that way of thinking. It's you thinking that you're entitled to ass, period. Why do you feel so entitled? It's you having the mindset of, I'm only gonna go over to this girl house just to fuck her. And then when you go over there and she's like, no, I don't want to fuck, and you spazzing out. Or you do have sex with her and now she's a hoe. How is she a hoe? You went over with the intention to have sex with her and now she's the hoe. The things you try to cover up and say they're preferences, but like, no. Oh, I don't like girls who go out. Like, I need a homebody. She can't be out in the club. One, how are you gonna meet her if she's at home? Two, you don't want your girl in the club because you know how niggas maneuver in the club. Because y'all ain't shit. 3, like, how are you going to say you don't want a girl that's in the club, but when you go to the club, you expect women to be there? It makes no sense. Like I said, stop making this. First of all, whenever women start talking about issues, stop making it man versus woman. It's not about man versus woman. It's about, we live in a male-dominant society. We want equality. We want basic fucking respect and human decency. And I should be able to get that. Like, and it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't turn into a man versus woman combat debate. Like, it's not about that. I'm one of those guys that thinks that, oh, I have a wife. Oh, I have a daughter. I have this. Just because you have a wife and a daughter, okay, so you respect the women that are related to you, but you have no disregard. You have no regard for anybody else. It's you asking, when a girl tells you about their rape story, it's you asking questions as a way of trying to place the blame on something. Like, oh, was there alcohol involved? You sound like the police. Like, if there wasn't alcohol involved, so what? Do you get drunk and want to rape people? Because when I get drunk, I would like to dance. I don't think about sexually assaulting or raping anybody. Alcohol is not an excuse. There's no excuse for a rapist. It's you asking questions, period. If a girl is telling you about, like, her experience with sexual assault or rape, and you start asking questions, like, you don't ask rape survivors questions. It's victim blaming. You don't do that. It's you asking women, like, why, like, thinking, like, why she take so long to say something? It's you not understanding that the reason why women let so much shit just roll off our back all the time is because we're living in fear. Because if I'm being harassed out in public and I say something back, I might set the guy off. Don't act like we haven't seen the stories of women dying because they've rejected men. Like, let's not act like it because they're operating from a place of toxic masculinity. Let's not act like we don't see that. Seriously, like, challenge your thoughts and ask yourself, why am I thinking that way? Why am I thinking, why'd she take so long to say something? At least she said something. You know why a lot of women don't say anything? Because that attitude right there. She took too long. It probably didn't happen. Or you being like, oh, well, he's such a nice guy, though. I couldn't really see how he could do that. Let me tell you a fun fact about abusers. In the mixed company, of course, they're very charming. That's how they got the abusee or the victim. That's how they got the victim, by being charming. They're very charming. So you falling for the charm just like the girl did, but you over here saying, I can't see him doing that. Saying things like, oh, well, did he actually do it? Let me run something by you real quick. The number of fucking false accusations is like 2 to 7% versus the fucking, 75-80% of women that are actually fucking raped. So please kill me with that too. Did he actually do it? Yes, he fucking did it. Why are you so quick to take the side of someone that could have potentially caused somebody else harm, but you won't take the side of someone who might be a liar? I'd rather side with someone who could potentially be a liar than someone that could potentially be a fucking perpetrator of a crime. Do better. Like, it's sexualizing women. It's thinking because I have on this tank top that for some reason I'm asking for unwanted attention. Like, I have on this tank top and no bra. Oh my God, she totally wants people to stare at her titties. Like, no. One, I don't have on a bra because I don't like bras. Like, I don't wear them anymore. I stopped wearing those shits. Like, because it doesn't make any sense to me. First of all, my titties naturally sit up. So it's like, why am I going to wear a bra? 2, how are my nipples offensive but a guy's aren't? Like, I just don't, like, bras are just stupid to me. I'm not doing that shit no more. And the shit's uncomfortable as fuck. So bras are out of the question for me. Our wardrobe. what women wear has nothing to do with you. And I said this in the last one, but I think this is very important. What women wear have nothing to do with you. I should be able to wear what makes me feel sexy and confident and post a picture on the internet or wherever because I feel sexy and confident. Not because I want comments, not because I'm seeking approval, not because I'm trying to look for validation. Like, oh, well, girls wear tight jeans, so they must want me to look at their ass. No, I'm wearing these jeans because I feel sexy in them. And I should be able to express myself sexually without being sexualized. See, that's the problem. The problem lies in how you're viewing it, how you're viewing these things, how you're viewing me. Because you've been taught to sexualize me, so you can't help yourself. But I'm asking you to break that shit down. Like, unpack it, unlearn it. Like, so it's with how you're looking at me. You're looking at me like I'm some type of shiny sex object. But I'm not putting myself out there like that. I just wore it because I thought it looked nice. Like, also, I feel like that projection of women are getting dressed because they want me to look at them is from men, because collectively, the collective conscious thinking is, as a man, I'm going to get dressed and put this on because I want to attract women. Because men get dressed for women, but women do not get dressed for men. And women don't get dressed for men because we have different things about us. Like, I might think, I don't know, trying to think of something. I might think that my arms are really skinny, so I wear low cut tops all the time because I'm going to show my cleavage because I want to take away from my arms, you know, because it's like you bring out different assets about yourself to take away from insecurities. Or like if I look like a straight bum, like if I'm dressed and I feel like I'm in sweatpants or something, I feel like a bum, then I'll put on lipstick to take away from my outfit. Because I'm like, look at my face. My face is cute. My outfit ain't cute, but my face is. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I didn't get put on the lipstick and say, I'm going to put on this lipstick because I'm going to get a nigga. I want him to look directly at my lips. Like, no. So kill that thinking too. We're not getting dressed for y'all, period. We're not. And it's not degrading the way we dress. Like, it's the way you're viewing it. So much shame for women centered around sex because we were taught that it was something that we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to like it. It's centered around male pleasure. It's not about us. We were slut shamed if you did it. So there's a lot of shame around it. So I was reading this research study, and they had men and women come in and tell how many sexual partners they had. So guys would say, they would lie about their number and make it higher than what it was. Because, you know, there are men whose their manhood exists in how many girls they have sleeping, I can't talk, Mercury retrograde. There's guys whose manhood lies in how many girls they sleep with, what kind of car they drive, and how much money they got. So men were lying about their numbers and women and hiring it, and women were lying and lowering it. And then they hooked them up to a lie detector test. It wasn't a real lie detector test. And then they got the truth. And men were actually, it turns out that women were actually having more sex than the men were. They had more sexual partners. But they lied about their number, because if I tell you, yeah, I've had sex with 16 guys, then you're going to be like, oh, wow, what a slut. Like, I'm allowed to have just as much sex as you, okay? I'm allowed to sleep around. You're allowed to sleep around. Like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. If there is any action that you're okay with a man doing, but it's not okay because it's a woman doing it, then you need to fix that. That's not, because you don't have a problem with the action, clearly. You have a problem with a woman doing it. Why do men put women up on this pedestal like this? Like, I'm just so confused. Like, it's like we're placed on this pedestal we didn't ask to be on. I can't have sex, but if I dress one way, then I'm a slut. If I dress another way, I'm too prudish. If I try to wear baggy clothes, I don't want to be sexualized, then you're not feminine enough. Then I wear tighter clothes, then I'm slut-shamed, I'm sexualized. God damn, I mean, it's mind-blowing. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. But anyways, that's what I was saying. So sex has failed to teach us about sexual assault. It's failed to teach us about rape. It has failed to teach us about what consent is. It has failed to teach us anything besides the biological standpoint. I was ashamed to even touch myself because I really did think that somehow my pleasure lied in a man and he was supposed to be the one to give it to me. But I gave myself my first orgasm. So clearly, like, that way of thinking was completely fucking wrong. And you have women out here who are ashamed in discovering their bodies and masturbating because they still have that idea. So let me tell you right now, it's okay to touch yourself. Learn yourself so that you can communicate that to your partner and let your partner know what you like. You'll have great sex, okay? You'll have so many more orgasms. And stop being submissive. Stop just taking whatever happens to you. Like, there are still parts of sex that I'm like, I don't even know if I really like that. But I'm so used to not having a say in really what happens to my body. I mean, you have niggas in government, the men in government, discussing whether or not what I can do with my body, if I can get an abortion. I mean, you have people policing our bodies, what we can wear. So it's like, I never really got a say in what really happens to my body. So it's just like, there's still things that I struggle with right now that I'm like, I don't know if I really like that or if I'm just taking it because I've been conditioned to do so. Or there's things where I'm like, I like it, but I don't know if it's okay for me to like it. But it's like, but like, I'm freaky. So it's like, I don't know. So that's a struggle. But yeah, for women, there's just so much shame centered around sex. And I have felt the shame. I have felt the shame more so in like me wanting to do something that I thought was like super freaky, and then having that internal dialogue of the men that I hear talking about the wifey and the hoe complex, which, you know, the wifey complex is just like, oh, she does XYZ, she's gonna be a great wife, and oh, she's, I don't know, she's fucking nasty, she's just a hoe. So I was trying to find a middle ground, right? Because I was like, I don't want to do too much. I mean, this way, I don't want to do too much. And he'd be like, oh my God, she's fucking disgusting. Like, I could never wife her. And I didn't want to do too little. And like, I don't fucking know. I was trying to find a medium, y'all. And I was just like, kind of like, there is no medium. Because guess what? The guys that you're sleeping with don't see you as nothing more than just a hoe. They don't even want you. So why are you even trying to figure this out here? Like, girl, like, literally, ladies, do what the fuck you want. If you want to fucking suck dick from the damn ceiling and you think, oh my God, he might think this is too nasty and he might not want me to be his girlfriend. Don't let niggas kink shame you. Don't let them freaking fetish shame you. Do what you want to do. And you will find somebody who has the same kinks and fetishes as you. You will. Or who's at least open to try. I'm just so caught up in seeking approval and validation from men that I just didn't want to be myself. I had so much internalized misogyny. That's why I can't understand how men out here just think that protecting her is just about the physical and not unpacking their thought process or their behaviors. You thinking all women want rough sex because you watch too much fucking porn. You all think we want some rough shit. Like, yes, there are women out there that enjoy rough sex. Absolutely. Not all of us, though. It's you thinking foreplay is, oh, this is stupid. This is just for the women. It's you thinking shit like that. Foreplay is sex. Sex is more than just penetration. It's the whole fucking thing. It's a girl fucking telling you no, and you keep trying, and she eventually says yes. That's a problem. That's called coercion. Like, y'all don't want to act like it's not. If you have ever done that, you have coerced a girl. I'm sorry to break it to you, bro. Like, let me explain something to you. If a woman wants to have sex with you, you will know. I promise you will know. Like, it's not going to be a secret. It's not. Depending on her style, whether she throws little subtle hints, and I'm not talking about the way she dresses, I'm talking about she is throwing hints. Like, you know that they are hints. No doubt in your mind. Like, a woman will let you know. She'll let you know one way or another. Like, stop assuming. It's the assumptions, too. It's us supporting rappers who fucking have domestic violence charges and rape charges. Why? Because men in power, they can do whatever they want to do. I mean, we have a rapist as a president, so men in power can do whatever they want to do. It's the language that surrounds sex. Oh, I fucked, I smashed, beating up the box, da 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 da, hitting the box, da 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 da. Whenever you use language like that, one, it paints women as just an object. Like, it's just, like, it makes it seem like you don't view women as more than just their sexual orifices. That's all we can offer you. Whenever you use language like that centered around sex, it makes it seem like women are just passive in the act of sex, and it's something that happens to us, and we're not there. It didn't take place. And if it's something that's happening just to us, that's called rape. Because sex is consent. Rape is not. And what I really want to leave y'all with is just, if your manhood lies in your status, how many girls you sleep with, like, if you still getting a thrill off how many girls you sleep with, and you have the mentality of a little boy, it depends on how bad your bitch is, like how fast your car is. Like, if it lies in that, rip that shit up. Rip it up and pick a new script. Rip up the script society gave you, and you define what manhood means to you. If your womanhood lies in you thinking you have to be this nurturer and you have to be, I don't fucking know. Just bottom line is, rip that shit up too and define it for yourself. Like, how do you define your femininity? How do you define your womanhood? How do you define your manhood? Define it for you.